Hey there, that one girl. Video 2 today. I just had a couple more things that I wanted to share. It was on my mind. I was thinking back when I very first decided I just was not going to stay anymore. I mean, it hadn't quite sank in yet that I was going to just tell my family or anything. It was just, I just knew it felt wrong. And there was a lot of things in my gut was just, an alarm was going off so loud that I couldn't stand anymore. I really did feel like I was being torn, that I could not, just couldn't do it anymore. Just so painful. The meetings, everything was just getting to be so painful. And I couldn't even pinpoint it. I still really can't. It's just, it's almost like you're just not directed to go. And of course, other witnesses will say, that's because you've lost Jehovah's Holy Spirit. And I really beg to differ, because it really wasn't a conscious choice until later. It was just something that everything kept feeling wrong. The love is not there. Once you see that the love is fake, it's not there. Once you see that the love has conditions, that it's not there. And that's when you lose your love for the organization, is when you realize that the organization and those who are in it never had love for you in the first place, never could express that love to you. When you realize that, you can't feel love for those people anymore. It's fake. You could try, you can pretend, and a pretend smile was there, and you kind of go to appease everyone, but it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. So my gut was just telling me the truth for quite a while, many, many, many months before I even really mentally decided, you know what, I've had enough. So when you are getting to that point, and perhaps you're not there, perhaps you've been there, maybe you are reminiscing, maybe you're looking at me like, oh my gosh, look what she's going through. Yeah, it's kind of sucky. But I am at the acceptance stage. That is why I am choosing now to do these videos, because although I am upset still, I have frustration, I'm nervous, yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to be judged. I'm just a quiet little mouse that doesn't make any noise. I'm a good girl. And here I am speaking out against what I believe to be the truth my whole life. So it's scary. But necessary. I mean, it's scary to go get your shots, or it's scary to go set a broken bone, but those are necessary. Painful, but you must go through it in order to make the changes or the adjustments needed. So I will go through it. Since I'm at the acceptance stage, I feel like I can offer some sincere guidance here, because I made some serious mistakes. I made 2 specific serious mistakes as I was exiting. When you have decided enough's enough, and when you no longer know that it is not the truth, and you have no more energy to put into something that is false, when you yourself have tried your whole life to represent truth, it's hard to remain calm. Your feelings are on edge. You're angry. You are ready to rupture at any moment. And anything said that would cause you to feel even an ounce of guilt for the anger that you're going through is almost too much. So here is my suggestion to those who are not through the grieving process yet, once you have decided to leave, and once you have started feeling the effects of shunning. Getting mad at these ones will not help. Now, I can say that now, because I already made the mistake. Mom, if you ever see this, if you ever are watching, 2 times I came into your home. I sat down to talk to you and ended up losing control and screamed at you. it is embarrassing. And I'm sorry. You know, when you decide that you do have your own life and you do get to make those choices, you get mad when people tell you can't, or make you feel guilty for deciding that you get to choose. So, I can offer the suggestion, because I know I went through it. I hurt my mother greatly. And I do feel bad. I will always feel bad. And I'm very thankful that the last thing I said to my mother, even though she did not respond, I did tell her I love her, and I still do. I am sorry for causing drama and trying to talk about a very stressful and emotional issue when I was in the middle of grieving and going through it. I really should have waited. You know, as a Jehovah's Witness, you're in a rush. You're always in a rush. You have so many things to get done before Armageddon comes. And you're doing such menial little tasks that you really can't get anything really done. So busy. So, excuse me, when you lose your temper, when you get mad, because when you talk to your family, when you tell them that you will no longer be what they are, and that you don't hold their same sacred beliefs the same way, it's hard for them to hear. It's painful. Excuse me. So when it's painful, you're going to have a lot of emotions. It's going to bring emotion to you, because you're causing them pain, which they will, you know, they haven't started grieving, they haven't been through it. So you're going to have the maturity level, excuse me, you're going to have the maturity level to absorb that and still be calm enough to speak reason. Oh, that is nearly impossible. I was going to say imperfect. We're so imperfect, it's nearly impossible. And I don't know if it can be done. I know with me, I tried, but it failed miserably. If I could have gone back, and I try really hard not to live in the past. I really try to learn and make positive experiences even from negative situations. I used to say, I was pretty young, and I started realizing, once I realized I couldn't go to college. Different story altogether. But I started thinking to myself that each of life's lessons, especially the ones that cost money, speeding tickets, library fines, legal action, whatever, those are like little college classes. Those are those kind of things where you pay for that personal experience in life. Some people just complain and they gripe about what happened and make themselves a victim. I just think that's funny. I don't really like the repetitive cycle, especially more now. I used to, boy, that's one of the things that I feel like I'm growing a lot with, is we just find ourselves doing the same things over and over again, right? So we just keep doing it. Why? Change. Say no. If you always say yes, or you always do the same thing, even if it just seems right, you know, you're with the same person even though they treat you bad, because, I don't know, getting a new one would be harder. You always have reasons to do the same exact thing over and over. I'm not telling you to go get rid of a bunch of people. I'm just saying, if you find that you're making the same mistakes with relationships or with friendships or whatever, look at the cycle. If it's repetitive, throw a wrench in it. Stop the motion and go a different direction and see where your life takes you. It's scary, it's fun. I mean, wow, it really gets you going. But yes, it's the only way that's going to get change to happen is you must stop the cycle, and sometimes that cycle is very painful to stop, but well worth the effort, especially when that cycle is really doing bad things for you mentally, spiritually, physically, whatever the case is. So I can suggest to you, I cannot tell you this works, so I can tell you what doesn't work. And speaking irrationally, or when you're angry, or trying to deal with someone else's irrationality and anger while you yourself are not doing well, is highly advise against it. You do what you want. That's just my suggestion, because I know it doesn't work. I hurt my mom and my dad. I mean, everyone in the house, even the dogs, were scared. It wasn't good. You know, you lose yourself when you become that angry. So just food for thought. Watch your head. Be calm. Be respectful. Find yourself first. Because you matter. As soon as you realize that you matter, you have respect for yourself. And once you have respect for yourself, this is hard because I am still working on this. But once you have respect for yourself, it gets easier to have a level head. Because you start realizing that when someone says, you're going to love me or else, or you're going to do this for me or else I won't love you, you can give them that power or not. You can accept that that's okay or not. You have all along. It's your choice. If you truly honestly see that that is what Jesus taught, or you really honestly see that the governing body is right in this particular instance, and it's not mind control, okay. But if you find that you matter, and you see that you are important, and that you can stand up for yourself, and you can actually say, no, that's not love, that's control. And you can say it. I mean, don't smirk. I mean, you want to be genuine and true. Love yourself. If you look at yourself, I know it sounds so corny, I'm sorry, but if you look at yourself like a best friend, and you can try to give yourself a compliment, even if, whatever, you know, when you have a hard time loving yourself, it's hard to compliment yourself. But if you can find it, it could be anything. I like your eyes, or wow, your handwriting is great, you know, or it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, if you can compliment yourself and become a friend of yourself, you will start sticking up for yourself and